G'day everyone.
Welcome to Australia Traveller. You ready, boys? You're up for it? We are heading to Portland. We're only a few kilometres away from Portland. We're taking the scenic route. We will be going to Mount Gambier, but we're going this way through to Portland because we want to take the scenic route along the coastline. Much more picturesque and things to see. So we're going to Portland past Cape Bridgewater. And there's the Mount Richmond National Park. And then we're heading on, following the coast along to Nelson. And from Nelson, we'll go inland to Mount Gambier to see the Blue Lake. And then from Mount Gambier we'll head back to the coastline, along the coastline to a place called Robe in South Australia, where we'll see the Robe obelisk and the Robe lighthouse, and we'll be staying the night in Robe. This is Portland, Victoria. Portland is about 360 kilometres west-southwest of Melbourne, which is the state capital of Victoria. It has existed since the early 1800s. Portland was proclaimed a city in 1985. Portland is the oldest European settlement in Victoria. Has a population of 10,016 as of the 2021 census. Located on Portland Bay. Portland was named in 1800 by British navigator James Grant. Grant wrote, "The bay, the only deep sea port between Adelaide and Melbourne, offers a sheltered anchorage against the often wild weather of Bass Strait." By the early 19th century, whalers and sealers were working the treacherous waters of Bass Strait and Portland Bay, according to wikipedia.org. So how does Portland make its money? It's an important fishing port. It also has a railway connection to the region as far as field as Ballarat and Melbourne. So they're known for barracuda and Australian salmon and crayfish, called the southern rock lobster. They're the main catches amongst the fishermen working in the bay. It also has an aluminium smelter, one of the largest, I believe, exporters for Victoria. They have also developed the Portland Wind Energy Project, so a lot of wind farms in the area, and tourism is a big thing in Portland. There's a maritime museum, and it also has its own airport. There's so much to showcase here in Portland. You really need to stay for a weekend or something to discover it all, because you've got even the Gannett colony out at Point Danger. There's, historical blowholes at Bridgewater and the Seal Colony, and beautiful beaches, great fishing spots, the whale watching, and just so much to see and do. So we'll just showcase it as best we can. That's the roundabout to Cape Bridgewater. We'll take a look at that later, because it's got a seal colony and some blowholes, which are pretty spectacular, and some petrified forests, so like forest remains that have been petrified, which will be interesting. Fire station. Beautiful views of the Southern Ocean, plenty of old buildings. Portland Port in front of us. Ships. Information centre down there on the water with its own car park. Portland dates back to around the 1800s, when Lieutenant James Grant sailed into Portland Bay on the Lady Nelson, and Portland wasn't founded until November 1834, when it became Victoria's first permanent settlement. Some fun facts about the port. It was established as a modern port in 1960. It services Western Victoria and greater regions, has about 50 staff, 300 ships a year. It's located between Melbourne and Adelaide, and has 6 berths, and 400 people are at work at the port each day. It has a 13.6 metre shipping channel depth and processes 7.6 million tonnes per year, and handles 637 trucks per day. So that's about 1 every 43 seconds. There's lots of places to go walking around Portland and explore the township, which features Victoria's largest bluestone precinct.
Customs.
Every weekend in April, Portland has its own fishing competition called Portland Hooked on Tuna. Portland is one of Victoria's best whale watching spots. They call it the whale watching capital. You can spot whales during the months of May to October. The Portland Port is the largest sustainable hardwood chip export port in the world. Nelson straddles the Gannett River, and it's only 3 kilometres from the South Australian border, or South Australian Victorian border. Nelson is a small fishing town located at the mouth of the Gannett River. Has a population of 191 as per the 2021 census. 1852, the name of Nelson was from the ship Lady Nelson, which was used by explorer Lieutenant James Grant in the early 19th century. The Gannett River starts at the Grampian Ranges, and the mouth is in Nelson, is over 350 kilometres, 220 miles, making it the longest river in southwest Victoria and third longest overall. Many people canoe along the river, and it's a popular fishing spot. One. So we've now left Nelson, heading to Mount Gambier, where the Blue Lake is. Sorry about the window screen, looking into the sun. We're going to visit the Blue Lake, so I'll tell you more about that later. Mount Gambier is the major service centre for this region, called the Limestone Coast. This area has many attractions, which include volcanic craters, lakes, caves, limestone caves, sinkholes, underground aquifers, and yeah, it just generates a lot of tourism for the Mount Gambier region. All these different attractions. It's a volcanic area, so a lot of these geographic formations were made through volcanic activity thousands of years ago. And these caves are filled with water, so divers from around the world come and dive the caves and explore. The Princess Margaret Rose Cave is a limestone cave located in the Lower Gannett National Park of Victoria, about 2 kilometres from South Australian border, and is also accessible by boat along the Glenelg River. The cave is said to be the most decorated cave anywhere in Australia. Entering South Australia, leaving Victoria. Now in the district of Grant. South Australia has some laws against bringing fruit and vegetables and certain items into the state. That's what that sign was about. So if you have any of the things listed on their website, then you're required under law to discard those items into the quarantine bin, which these signs are giving you warnings that that's coming up shortly. We don't have anything on board to disregard this time. So our next stop is going to be Mount Gambier, as I said earlier. After Mount Gambier, we'll be heading to Robe. There's approximately 27,000 people who live in Mount Gambier, according to the 2021 census. The predominant industry for the area is log sawmilling and timber dressing, followed by school, education, and the retail trade. The temperature for this time of year in Mount Gambier, we're in May, and the average temperature is maximum is 16.1 degrees Celsius, 61 Fahrenheit, and the minimum average is 7.4 degrees Celsius, 45.3 Fahrenheit. And for May rainfall, they have an average millimetres of 73.2, which is 2.88 inches. Here we are, coming into the Blue Lake. The Blue Lake supplies the town with drinking water, and it's said to be an average depth of 72 metres, in some places 75 metres. There is also, there used to be a Browns Lake, but apparently that dried up in the 1980s and now they use it for a picnic spot. There's a 3.6 kilometre road and walking track around the circumference of the Blue Lake, so you can walk around it. Well, we're on our way to Robe, and we're witnessing this beautiful sunset. That's the thing about southern Australia, is you get these beautiful sunset evenings where the light just slowly dims away, and gorgeous red-orange sunsets. In the north of Australia, so the top end of Australia, you don't get the same fading light. It goes from light to dark really quickly, so you miss out on this beautiful ambient light that you get in the south of Australia. So yeah, we're really enjoying this. So 103 kilometres from Kingston. Kingston's after Robe. We'll be heading to Kingston tomorrow, I guess. When we get back on the road, we're staying overnight in Robe, and then we'll be on the road to Kingston. So we're almost there, and we're staying at the Dunes Purple tonight.